Justice Omotosho convicts Nnamdi Kanu on terrorism charge after ruling he forfeited right to defend himself. This and many more stories will be coming your way this morning. Good morning to you, our dearest viewers, and welcome to today's edition of non-streaming morning show on ACNNTV. I am Princess Clement, your anchor for today's program. And as usual, I'm not alone in the studio. With me this morning are the Venerable Joseph Onoanya, JP. He is the Director, Civic and Political Affairs, and also the Chaplain to the National Assembly. Also with us is Barrister Patrice Akwara. He is a political analyst and a politician. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
It's a delight to have both of you here
Thank
this
you
morning.
for having
and
us
I'm sure
again.
you're going to make a good thoughts of yours known to the viewers this morning. Thank you for all you do. Meanwhile, I love this your cap. All right, viewers, don't forget to call in using the phone number showing on your screen to share your thoughts or send your comments on any of our social media platforms. Your thoughts are valuable. Viewers, let us take a look at some trending stories on the front pages of our national daily newspaper. I'll start with Daily Global. Court sentences Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment. That is a big story on the Daily Global this morning. Abuja fraud fighters push integrity drive at AGM dinner. And our democracy stands because of people like Jonathan. Tinubu has this to say. And that is all we'll be taking on the Daily Global newspaper. We'll move to the Punch newspaper. The major story here says, life jail for Kanu. Southeast leaders rally for political solution. You'll find this big story on page 2 and 3. The kicker says, Kanu to appeal judgment, Igbo elites to meet Tinubu. How can Kanu sparked courtroom chaos before life sentence? On page 2, alleged genocide. U.S. Congress split over Nigeria's CPC designation. And the last story on the Punch newspaper is on page 24. Obafemi Awolowo's grandson Shegun dies at 62. Oh no, may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
We'll move to the Guardian newspaper, and the big story here says U.S. lawmakers question Nigerians' will capacity to curb violence. You find this in page 6, and that is all we'll be taking on our daily newspapers this morning. Viewers, don't forget to call in using the numbers showing on your screen and comment your views on our various social media platforms. Your thoughts are always valuable. All right, the gentlemen in the studio, you can see that we have a lot of stories this morning trending, and so many of them are heartbreaking. The state of our nation. The court sentences Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment, says Ipob leader, an international terrorist. Trending also says courts convicts Nnamdi Kanu on other counts, says offense carries death or life imprisonment. Security heightened in Southeast as court set to deliver ruling in Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Justice Omotosho convicts Nnamdi Kanu on terrorism charge after ruling he forfeited right to defend himself. Life sentence for Nnamdi Kanu sends strong message, says Prosecution Council. Senator Abaribe knocks Tinubu government. Nnamdi Kanu's ruling not surprising. Justice in Nigeria is not for Igbo. This is so much for just one day. Anyways, let's start with you, Venerable. What do you have to make of this morning?
Well, it's unfortunate what happened yesterday. I'm not a lawyer, and I know we have a law in the country that prohibits some certain offenses or criminality whatsoever you want to call it. I'm not here to really query the judgment delivered by the judge, because he's saying that the prosecutor was able to prove his what they call them, the charges beyond any reasonable doubt, and that is the basic requirement when it comes to handling criminal cases or matters. But I feel sad because Nigeria is going down gradually, and it's like our leaders don't know what to do to stop this nation from plunging totally into chaos. Now, Nnamdi Kanu's case is a very sensitive matter with deep ethnic coloration. And this is a question of somebody that was agitating for the freedom of Biafra or the Igbos as a nation. You and I know that Igbos have been grossly marginalized in this very country. We know, every Nigerian know that. We all know that Igbos have not been fairly treated. Every one of us know that. So, we also know that it is failure of leadership that is responsible for this. If any person is agitating today, it is because the leaders of our nation have not done what they're supposed to do. That is the reason. Look at the agitation that took place in the Niger Delta. Look at the agitation that took place in the West, led by Igboho, and this one of Kanu. Put them together and ask yourself, why all this restiveness? Is it not because of bad leadership? So, I had expected that there would be a kind of soft landing, and I've expected that by now, Mr. President will apply a political solution. I want to tell you something. Now, yesterday something just crossed my mind. We are not mindful of the things we are doing that is further polarizing this country. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested by a government that was led by Northerners. And now, he's been sentenced to life imprisonment by a government led by Yoruba and by a Yoruba judge. All these things are very, very significant to an Igbo man. All these things are very significant. These are people who have been saying that for what happened during the Civil War, it's like Nigeria have not forgiven them till today. And now, we are still doing things in a way that we further polarize the country. Look at agitation everywhere in the country. We should be taking decision this time that we bridge the gap. Decision that we engender love. Decision that we show that, the government is ruling with human face. And more sad is that if Nnamdi Kanu could be condemned to life imprisonment, why are Boko Haram that are slaughtering innocent Nigerians being granted amnesty? Why are they being treated the way they are being treated? So does this really mean that some Nigerians are more Nigerians than some? So these are questions that this judgment has thrown up to us. But in all, I'm still trusting and believing that the president did not want to directly interfere with the court proceeding. After all, it's not his government, even though it's the same political party that has been in power, but it's not his government per se that arrested this man, detained him. He was already, the matter was already in court before himself came in. Maybe he's waiting for us to get to this point so that if he's granting clemency, it will be very clear that he's exercising his authority as the president. And I trust that he will do that to make peace to reign in this country, because if you look at the beginning of Boko Haram problem in the northeast, you will know it is what happened to their leader that got the matter out of control. The way their leader was treated, whether you like it or not, Nnamdi Kanu is a movement.
Okay. All right.
It's a movement that we need to watch it and handle it carefully, and we need to take decision that we make the whole Igbos to know that they have a stake in the Nigeria business. Right. I trust Mr. President will think about that and do something soon.
Thank you very much, Venerable. Before I come to you, Barrister Patrice, there is a comment. Many terrorists that the government arrested were reintegrated into the Nigerian military. None of them were prosecuted. Instead, they received a hero's welcome. Now, these reintegrated terrorists have infiltrated Nigeria's security system. However, here is Mr. Kanu, who is exposing the injustice against the Igbos, and they labeled him a terrorist. I wish President Donald Trump could provide proper assistance to my dear country, Nigeria. This is very heartbreaking. Let's have your thoughts on this, Barrister.
Particularly, anyway, I will address the issue based primarily on the decisions of the court yesterday, with reference to the pronouncement by the learned judge of the Federal High Court, James Omotosho. The thing is, the court has ruled, the court has decided one way or the other, and whatever the court decided is also subject to appeal by the party that is dissatisfied with the judgment. But I listened to him yesterday, and I also listened to him the recorded version this morning. I want to say that for me, this is just a political setup. All this is about 2027. The president is used to playing all these advanced games. He was my governor in Lagos, so he moves like 9 months to 1 year ahead of most politicians. And particularly the details of what the judge read, for me, didn't really have any correlation with some of the charges. Yes, he went on, he emphasized so much on Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast, you understand, on how he wants to divide Nigeria. I don't know the nexus between dividing Nigeria, secession, and terrorism. These are supposed to be two different heads of allegations or charges. And there was this comment Nnamdi Kanu made. Nnamdi Kanu continued to insist that read the law that you are using to charge me, because there is a Supreme Court judgment. Citation is Aoko and Fagbemi, where it is stated that nobody can be brought before any court of law charged against a criminal act without basis, without citing the relevant section of the law he has offended. And when he was pronouncing his judgment, I wanted to hear that you have been this charge 1, you are found guilty contrary to section this. None of them, all these 6 count charges, none of them had any section that he was convicted on. So it's all about sentiment. And the great detail he gave in talking about Yoruba, Igbo, it was as if he was trying to make the Yorubas see that Nnamdi Kanu was calling people to kill them. It was as if he wanted the Fulanis to see that now all those things Kanu used to say all those days, which he said in UK. I will come to the legality of that one. Nnamdi Kanu used to say all these things when he was in UK. He used to do broadcast. But you cannot charge somebody for a crime he committed outside your jurisdiction. You can't. Even Section 12 of the Criminal Code says that before you can do so, that crime must be a crime in that place where he committed it. And then you must also follow a certain procedure to bring him back. And when they went to this Court of Appeal initially, the Court of Appeal, on that ground that they didn't follow that procedure, quashed and discharged and acquitted him. So this court, which is inferior to the Court of Appeal, is a lower court of appeal, cannot overrule Court of Appeal. Do you understand? So the heavy weather he made in trying to pitch all the different tribes against each other, because just like the learned venerable said earlier, it's as if all the things the Igboho did, it was waved aside. All the terrorist stuff, but I don't want to go into all those ones. I want to stick with the legality on the court pronouncements. So for me, it's as if the man was even reading a script somebody wrote and gave to him to convict this guy based on things that are not known to any specific law.
Are you also aware that Nnamdi Kanu stated that, or he actually sacked his legal team based on this, that he's ready to stand alone? Do you think that is in line with the judge?
No, the Constitution gives everybody, I think section 35 or thereabouts, if I'm not mistaken, gives anybody charged with a criminal allegation has a right to self-defense or by counsel.
Okay.
That is, there are two legs. You can defend yourself or you use counsel. That people contact lawyers, and it doesn't mean that they don't have any right to defend themselves. So he is exercising that constitutional guaranteed right of self-defense.
Okay.
He is doing self-defense. But what I'm trying to say, the issue I'm raising with respect to what the judge ruled yesterday, there were no particular laws, because Nnamdi Kanu in his statements said that those laws have been abrogated, have been abolished. You understand? So I expected the judge to say, Nnamdi Kanu, count one. You are guilty of count one by and subject to section 1, 2 of this. They will read the citation. I didn't hear anything like that. I didn't. Which means he was tried and convicted on unknown law. That is my own problem with it. And like I said, the process of bringing him back did not follow the legal and procedural, the statutory procedures articulated in that section 12 and 13 of the criminal in fact, that criminal code is not even we're now using administration of criminal justice system. You understand? So I don't even understand the law they are even using to try him.
Okay, talking about Nnamdi Kanu, what do you think is his fate? What is next for him? Do you think he stands a chance for appeal or?
Thank you for that question. The question you're asking, let me tell you, there are two things flying in this country. One is the one the political masters are planning. Me, I believe because of 2027, number one, they want to really put the Southeast to be in turmoil. This thing that happened, if not the Southeastern leaders understood and started talking to their people, Southeast would have been in flame by now. And that's what they want to do. Because I remember very, very well, I was in Government House Owerri shortly before the presidential election. And when all these things were happening, all those unknown gunmen, I reasoned it that they want to set the Southeast on fire, to make it to be confused so that they cannot really, people will not come and vote.
Participate.
Yes, and this is exactly the same scripts. The thing is that the public don't have institutional amnesia. They don't really follow how these politicians behave. The Lagos axis politicians, this is the way they think. And their master, I don't want to mention anybody's name, that is the way they think. Now, they wanted to start the same thing. That's why all these Boko Haram related things are also starting again. If not for this Donald Trump statement that now checkmates them. Now they just want, because on a good day, when you go for a general election, they know that the situation in Nigeria will not bring them back. They now want to put so this Nnamdi Kanu issue for me is a red herring, and that's why a very intelligent and erudite judge like James Omotosho would just be delivering and convicting somebody based on things that are just more of sentiment, telling me that you are in London and you are making a broadcast inciting people, because Nnamdi Kanu actually incited people, yes. But did you follow the legal have you checked whether that act is a crime in UK? And if it's a UK, did the Attorney General, because that section said the Attorney General must apply for him to be brought back. You understand? There must be. They didn't do all those things. He went to Kenya, they bundled him here. And then, so you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. You cannot use one illegality to cure another illegality. That is what I'm trying to say. And I want to defer to what he said. All these are political. They should have known how to manage all these things, because, like on Sunday, or this Sunday, the Anglican Church will treat in our Bible study the emotional abuse. The average Igbo man has been emotionally abused in this country. The average Igbo man has been emotionally traumatized in this country. Go and check all the appointments, all the board appointments. Check right from Buhari. Go and check everywhere, and everybody keeps quiet.
Okay.
And then he comes out angry and start. Why not run Nigeria as a modern civilized environment where merit takes place? Everybody can compete. The Yorubas, the Igbos, everybody can compete. It's not necessary. See the way our economy has been. Does it look like where intelligent people are running?
All right, thank you very much for that, Barrister Patrice. Let me come to you, Venerable. In line with our trending story this morning, Senator Abaribe knocks Tinubu government. Nnamdi Kanu's ruling not surprising. Justice in Nigeria is not for Igbo. Are we saying that the Igbos are second class in Nigeria? What is your take on this?
In Nigeria, some people are becoming more important than others. That is the bone of contention. There's a tribe that is lording it over everyone in Nigeria. And there are some tribes that have been kind of systematically classified as people that should not be given opportunity to express themselves and to do things which other ones do. And for me, it's not fair. You see, this thing is glaring. This unfair treatment is glaring. That is the point. No matter how you try to color it or cover it, it is very glaring to people. We can see it. So, and that is where there's what they call damage control. I'm not seeing government doing any form of damage control. I'm not seeing government deliberately trying to reassure people or instill confidence in people that, yes, you see, you are part of us where these things are not deliberate, or where it is perceived it will be corrected in this way or in that way. We are not seeing it. You see how nepotism is playing out in Nigeria in everything. Look at during Buhari's time, nepotism was played to the very highest level in this country. Look at the current government. Are you not seeing the nepotism very glaring? So it's something funny. And now, this have a way of pulling the country apart. If Igbo man is talking about his own, Yorubas are talking about their own, the Hausa, the Northerners, the Fulanis, who are playing the big gods now, are talking about their own. Where comes the Edo people like us? And where comes, I even say Edo people. Do you know that by tribe, I'm not an Edo man? I'm an Esa man by tribe. Very small tribe, Edo Central. So what happens to the Shekiris, the Robos, the TVs? all these idomas, these different small tribes. So Ibibios, Efikan, yeah, even you go to the north, you see different small tribes.
Even Kogi State.
And Kogi and other. So a country that is this, multifaceted in their orientation. We need leaders that are sensitive enough to be able to harmonize, to be able to work for unity, to be able to work for peace, and it must be done deliberately. That is why the matter of Nnamdi Kanu concerns me.
It concerns everybody.
This matter could have been handled in a better form. I'm telling you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Venerable. In another trending story, there is a breaking news this morning on another set of girls that has been kidnapped from Kebbi State this
Kebbi.
morning. 25 of them.
25.
Okay, Niger State precisely.
Okay, yeah.
But then there was that of Kebbi too within this week. I think that is a very big shame on us as a nation. And to that, we have Tinubu orders Defense Minister Bello Matawale to relocate to Kebbi, ensure rescue of abducted school girls. We've not finished with the issue of the Chibok girls, and now another series of girls being abducted. Where are we heading to? Also, in line with that, terrorists killed 2 or 4 abducted rice farmers in Edu local government, Kwara. U.S. Congress public hearing on Nigeria seeks urgent solutions to alleged genocide. Okay, let's talk about the kidnapping issues. There was another issue of a widow who narrates how she watched her husband being killed by kidnappers in that same school environment. I think he was the vice president of the school.
The vice
I don't know.
principal, yeah.
Kindly react to this, barrister.
Honestly, my dear sister, it's very pathetic. In fact, somebody even drew the attention of the whole world that on the day that vice principal and those children were abducted, a brigadier general of the army
was killed.
In
the most gruesome manner.
In the most Jesus Christ. And yet the vice president Shetima was in Kwara State receiving the former Kwara State governor into APC. The president didn't even make any comment. Nothing was just done. And now what we are now seeing, another abduction. You see, just like Obasanjo, they were interviewing Obasanjo last week, and he said some people just enter into government with the idea to be president and former president at the end, that they don't have any.
Just for the name.
Yes, but when you see the way they are ruling, it's obvious they don't have anything to offer. He said it, Obasanjo said it, and everybody knows what he was saying.
Talking about?
There is just an idea. It's my turn thing. But what are you coming
to do?
Yes, what are you bringing to the table? What expertise? You build Imo State, you build this one. In what manner? Where you are the champion of democracy, where if you don't endorse anybody, the person, nobody. Democracy means people, let us go. It's not what I endorse. You see, I keep on saying it. We as a people, like my venerable have said here, that Nigeria is a multi-ethnic nation. If we are not intentional, if our leaders are not deliberate and intentional to build a coherent and prosperous nation, my dear, we cannot achieve it by default. It cannot be. It's not. You understand? You cannot achieve it by default. And the way we are going about it, why are people from Esa, Edo, Ishekiri, this, that? Go and check all the appointments. The last administration nationalized nepotism. This one has also continued. Is that leadership? These are, as far as I'm concerned, these are not. I used to say that these people are not statesmen. There are nothing statesmen about them. These are clansmen that they are holding, and they are not elitist about. They are not elites. These are just people who don't even have any academic record. There's nothing elitist about them. These are people who chance their way by subterfuge and violence to enter into public office, and they have shown evidence of nothing. They don't have anything inside of them. It's just about, for me, I call it, these are globalist agendas. If you see if you go to ABC News, ABC Network News in America, you see their logo. Some of them are even putting it on their crown, on their destiny, showing that they are members of the globalist group. They just want to make Nigeria. They know that God will use Nigeria to bring about His kingdom. They just want to dilapidate Nigeria, to make Nigeria a decrepit and a useless nation, not able to fight like see what Trump is doing. If not for Trump coming, children would have been transgendered, wokeism, all those things. But if not that he stood up, I was, the Bible says that because of the suffering of the elect, Christ would have come. I would have, when people were saying Christ will come this 2025, it was real. It was real. Because for the sake of elect, he would have, but maybe because of the way Trump them have now woke up to say Christians will not be, maybe God has now calmed down. That's my own phantom. I didn't see it in the Bible, but that's my opinion. Because God thinks like us.
Oh my God.
The Bible says God gets angry. When Israel annoys him, he gets angry. Yes.
So you just imagine that God will come now.
But he said, Bible said it that for the sake of it. Yes, because it's not known. Yes. The time is not known.
It's not known.
Yes, he can come in.
But you have to accept that he was to come this
No, I'm telling you, because of the way they elect, we are being prosecuted. Yeah. No, because of the way they elect, we are being prosecuted. Do you know that it's not just when you kill a 9-year-old child in America can go to primary school as a boy and come back as a girl.
All right.
The parents cannot question him.
Let's attend to
Is it not persecution?
Just hold it, barrister. Let's attend to a caller.
I greet my venerable in the studio and my barrister.
Good morning, Sunday. Please go ahead.
The amiable anchor. I want to sincerely appreciate everyone so far for the sober reflection since yesterday. It's as if the nation experienced probably the death of either a former head of state or even a current serving minister or a governor because of the so-called predictable judgment we experienced yesterday. Why did I call it predictable? I call it predictable because in as much as it has been lingering, it was expected to go the same way, the way it has went yesterday or it gone yesterday. What happened yesterday was exactly what happened after the whole coalition of results of 2023 election, where the INEC chairman will sit, go for a break, come back, do this, go and urinate, come back. If you just want to hear from APC camp, this is what he has said, what is the next? He will just declare a break session. All of them will just go for a break and come back. And because you could see a whole call NTA and the other press channels airing what's happening yesterday, it tells you that everything that happened yesterday was discussed even before yesterday. And so we are not surprised. In as much as we are not happy, we are not surprised. What is the fate of Nnamdi Kanu? It will be decided by either the president. Some people we are saying that Tinubu should use a presidential pardon to settle Nnamdi Kanu and settle the Southeast. But the whole Southeast elite, politicians, leaders, they should know that what happened yesterday was, for me, it was a clear cut that we are not just second-class citizens in this country. We don't have any say anymore. There is nothing any Igbo man will do. You see all this why they have been shouting that no Igbo man will ever become president in this country. Yesterday was a clear, it just showed everybody that it will be a very hard task for Igbo man to become president in this country. And just like Nnamdi Kanu was just trying to make his way known yesterday, all of us, we understand. And we keep praying for him that he gets either presidential pardon or something else, even as the judge, his lawyer yesterday was saying that they will appeal. Talking about what happened at Niger State last night, are we expecting less? We are not expecting anything less because Tinubu is not doing anything. Nobody. Tinubu and all the people in government as we speak now, all of them are just folding their hands, pursuing 2027 trying to make sure they distract everybody from what is happening in this country. But what you are going to be doing is, as you keep praying for yourself, dodge whatsoever you want to dodge. If it tells you not coming out, my brother, do it, because nowhere now is safe. Thank you
very much, Mr. Sunday, for that. I think that was a good one. Okay, I want you to react to what he has said before we continue. Venerable.
He summarized everything that is really happening, and and is sad. Talking about the insecurity that is growing by the day, nowhere is safe, is correct. Nowhere is safe. And for me, if an army general convoy, it can be accosted, and the man can be killed in this manner, who is safe? Is it the politician that carry just one helos and with two policemen inside that thing?
Or they have bulletproof cars, right?
Listen, there are some times where bulletproof car will not help.
Okay.
You don't carry bulletproof into your city room.
That's true.
Yes, so we need to think fast now. We need to think fast now. And let me, so that I will not forget to say this, the government need to wake up. You see, I'm seeing far. You know, few years ago when Buhari's government opened the border for these Fulanis to be coming in from different parts of Africa, I said it, this is the beginning of trouble. Then when they were using trailer to export them to the east, to the west, to the south, where even when the nation was under lock because of coronavirus, these people were moving. I said, if we don't stop this now, once it spreads, this insecurity spreads in Nigeria, it will be difficult to control. That is where we are now. I want to say it again. The way ISWAP are going, the way this resurgence of Boko Haram and the brazen way they are going about it, if the country did not do something about it or seek for genuine help now, when these people get to Abuja, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. So why do we need to wait until Nigeria becomes pure Afghanistan and Sudan before we do the needful? So the politicians need to wake up now. They need to wake up now. Let's leave 2027 matter first and do the needful, because I just pray that there will be somewhere for somebody to govern in 2027 from the way things are going.
All right, thank you very much. Before I come to you, Barrister Patrice, there is a hashtag of bring back our girls on the internet. And just like you have said, we hope that the federal government will interfere now before it gets out of hand. We also have the story of the Kebbi State girls. All right, let me hold this. Let's attend to...
Okay, my contribution is that the killing in Nigeria is too much. Please, I'm begging that they should allow the government of outside countries of Donald Trump to come in and help us in Nigeria. Because Nigeria cannot help ourselves. The leaders, they have deceived. Even the army general, they kill. How about it? Please, we are crying to God, and God has helped us. So God is helping us now to listen and direct the Donald Trump to help us. Let Donald Trump come and help us, bring the people to help us. Please, don't delay it. If any blood shed in Nigeria, that blood shall be upon the leader's head, and you people say that I've demonstrated this activity. I'm warning so seriously. And I'm praying that one day it should come, that God will bring us out of this place. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Sunday. All right, before we react to this, I want us to still talk about the Kebbi State girls who were adopted. And terrorists invade Niger State Catholic School kidnapped dozens of students 5 days after KB attack. I don't know, inside this whole drama, there are students from SS3 who are supposed to be the next students to move out of the secondary school. Imagine the trauma. WAEC is around the corner, JAM is around the corner, every other exam is here, and they are facing this. What is the fate of these children? And also, do you think they will be well by the time they return? Knowing fully well that these terrorists can do and undo to the girls. They can take advantage of the girls. And also, they are demanding for ransom. What is your take on this situation? Do you think these girls will come out safe? Do you think they will actually get rescued by the agencies?
Thank you very much. Your question is beautiful, but it's just addressing tertiary matters. It's addressing tertiary matters. But let me cite a Canadian member of parliament when she was being interviewed sometime last week by Piers Morgan. She said that what is happening now is the way, so how all these Islamists took over Middle East in 1804, Mandan Fodio came and also took over killing and slaughtering people in northern Nigeria. The only difference is because everybody now has a camera. So the narrative is no longer a single story. Everybody with his own camera tells the story. That is number one. Number two, this is a playbook, because the American government is threatening to come around. They are kidnapping these people. For me, it's just a strategy. They are kidnapping these children in mass. They are complicit, as far as I'm concerned. There is a playbook by those who have been accused, like Shetima, the Borno State, from Sheriff, Alain Sheriff was accusing Shetima. Shetima was accusing Sheriff of being behind that Boko Haram guy. This is their playbook. They want to arrest these. They want to kidnap these girls so that when America is coming or through their bomber, they will be a human shield. That's exactly what the Hamas were doing. They will kidnap all these people, all these children. They will kidnap this mass kidnapping, so that by the time they take aim, they will see a lot of civilians and they become a human shield. It will now be difficult to decimate them. So that is the more reason why the military, or even Trump that is coming, even United Nations, I don't even know why all these things will be happening. At United Nations, that Guterres that says he's Secretary General will just be, all he's talking about is Hamas. The killings in Sudan, he's not talking about it. In Congo, he's not talking about it. If thank God for Trump that went, the man he will just be, all he's talking about is Hamas. Was United Nations just formed to address Hamas issues? Whereas member states, citizens and residents of member states of your so-called United Nations are being murdered in mass numbers, and you are just there. So these are just strategies they want to use so that they can have enough human shield, so that when all these B-2 Spirit bombers are coming, they will find it difficult to identify each and every one of them, because they may not be able to use laser to identify any of them. So that is, for me, that's what they are thinking. That's their strategy. And then those girls, you see what happened to the Chibok girls, because it's as an Islamic terrorist organization. They want to start converting them, use the girls as sex slaves, and there's no way those girls will come back the same. So if the state is serious, you can use satellite and map out, know where they are going. These things are not rocket science. If an Israeli airstrike can take off from Tel Aviv to Iran, to Tehran, and get one single person by programming. These are programming by laser. I don't know what we are wasting time for. Can't we develop all this even in our country? Because we are not determined. We are just running the country along tribal lines. This one is Yoruba, this one is Igbo man, this one is everyday tax. You are taxing people. Let me tell you, all this taxing, they are taxing. Why are they so devilish? Most countries that have natural resources like oil, their citizens don't pay tax. Go to Saudi Arabia, go to Dubai, go to Kuwait. All these people that have natural resources, they don't pay tax. Instead, every week, government gives them something because it is a natural resource, it is God-given, and everybody is entitled to it. But here you are taxing everybody, petroleum tax, all kinds of things. It's very disheartening. And then somebody comes up to say that what you're doing is not proper. Instead of you to have the humanity to settle down, and you are now giving him life imprisonment because he got angry.
All right, in line with what you just said now, there is a story of the church attack recently, and the terrorists are making demands of 100 million each or so for each victims. What is your take on that?
Like I said, it's just their playbook. They use all these funds to get arms. They use all these funds. The people are sponsoring them. Because when you look at the so-called, like the one that happened in my village, you know, by the grace of God, I'm the traditional prime minister of my community. So they had issues with my village. I had to go home. There was a meeting between us, the DSS, the Eze, that is our Eze, the Igwe Asitue couldn't, because of his ill health. I'm second in command, so I went. I saw these people demanding 300 million. When you see somebody having 300 million now, you will know. You will know. Do they look like people who are managing 300 million? Which means they are just agents. People are sending them.
I think it's 3 billion, not even million.
You can imagine.
It's billion. It's billion.
So which means this is an organized crime. This is a mafia setup. And some of them people, you don't even know who is responsible.
Perhaps they are playing politics with human lives in Nigeria. Okay, I beg to come to you now, Venerable. We have terrorists killed my 5 children. Benue attack survival, tells U.S. Congress. Nigerian government begins training for 50 senators, rep members on how to negotiate with U.S. amid rising insecurity. Bandits demand 3 billion. Okay, we just talked about that in Kwara State. And FCT administration. Okay, before we go to this, kindly react to the issue of banditry, terrorists in Benue State and other parts of the country, including the 50 senators that have been trained or about to be trained.
Well, I wouldn't know what kind of training is that. Training to go and negotiate with oh no, you know, you hear so many funny things, and by the time that training is finished, some millions would have gone.
Very well.
In the name of training.
Absolutely.
So it is irritating. Honestly, it's painful that we are just behaving like children that doing moonlight play, and people's life are going. Now, look at the sad story of that woman. What remains in her? Somebody whose 5 children have been killed. You know the number of people are now orphans in Nigeria. You know the number of people are now widowers. These are the kind of people we are now dealing with, and you know the pain, the sorrow, the anguish that is involved in this thing. How do you want that woman to recover? These are the things we should be talking about. That is why this rehabilitation coming to so and co for Boko Haram people is very irritating. We should be thinking of how to rehabilitate people who are victims of this crime, instead of how to rehabilitate these criminals, devilish elements, blood-sucking demons that are working in noonday for us.
All right, please hold your thought. We have a caller.
I just want to say something concerning Nigeria's situation now. Let's say Nigeria government is confused. They are confused. They say that what is going on in Nigeria, that is not how the other countries run their country. Now, I'm just saying that everything that is happening in Nigeria now is the act of greediness. Our government officials, the politicians, they are just there working for their them and their whole family. And with this kind of attitude, I don't know where Nigeria is going. Look at what is happening in Dubai. Look at what is happening in Kuwait. We Nigerian citizens are supposed to be paying every month. They are supposed to be paying our salary because God bless our country. But now, our president is planning for 2027 election, and things are going wrong in Nigeria. Instead of treating and finding how we can get the solution of what is happening, that is not even in their own program. Killing everywhere. Our vice president, Mr. Shekiwa, is the king of the bandits, and he is there. Just as the vice president, how do you think that this will go normal? So we should just close mouth. Then happy as we like. Next day, our brother can be sentenced to death, to pay a life imprisonment because of what? Because he is agitating for his rights. And people are killing people everywhere. And Nigeria is negotiating with bandits, carrying AK-47 everywhere. And those people, nobody will arrest them. But somebody that is speaking in the mouth, claims his right, is convicted to life imprisonment. No, that is not normal. So it is high time that we wake up and talk reality. And by so doing, we make it by the grace of God, Nigeria will come back to normal again. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much. Anselm from Cotonou. All right, that was a good one. I want you to continue with your thoughts.
Yes, I'm just saying that Nigeria is bleeding. And if this bleeding is not stopped now, it can lead to a collapse. Just put yourself in the situation. If a human being was the one bleeding the way Nigeria is bleeding from all angles, don't you know that it's a high time tangible steps are taken to stop the bleeding? Otherwise, we can't continue like this. We are just at the verge of collapse except something tangible is done. And that is why, like the last episode I said, this is not a question of whether there's genocide or no genocide. It's something that is very glaring. Even as I listen to an Hausa guy speaking, a northerner, I don't know which particular tribe he belongs to in the north. He was so emphatic about the issue of genocide. He was so emphatic about the issue of Islamization agenda, and he was so emphatic that even the Muslims in Nigeria will be victim also, because he was emphasizing for the first time it is the issue of set, that when this thing is the stage is fully set, even the Muslims that think that this agenda is to advance the cause of Islam will soon discover that it is about sect. He was talking about Afghanistan model. According to him, it's a question of do you belong to our sect? That is what will happen at the end of the day. So this is the right time for us to appeal.
We have a caller.
With all this that we are hearing so far in Nigeria, I want to believe that we are yet to really have the true picture of who Christians are. You know, Nigeria, we believe to have so much religious leaders. But I want to also believe that the religious leader we have today in Nigeria are the fashionable one, looking for money, trying to demonstrate their wealth.
That should be network also. All right, you can continue with
yes,
your thoughts.
What I'm saying, I think this is the right time for the government to reach out to any person anywhere who can be of help to redeem this very nation. So instead of talking about or arguing whether there is genocide or no genocide or whatever, we should rather partner with Donald Trump, partner with U.S. government to help us to deal with this situation. And I think my brother was the one who was speaking about using technology. Using technology for Christ's sake. Okay, talk about the kidnapping and the negotiation. Are they not using a GSM? Can they track these people? Can they track this? If ISWAP can intercept the communication of a general, why can't our military intercept their own communication? So this is just about technology. And any nation that is ready to help us now, this is the right time to embrace them, to say, come, work with us to ensure that we recover this nation from getting destroyed completely. We just need to do that. Then the last caller just talk about fashionable Christian leaders. Honestly, some Christian leaders are not talking. Honestly, some are just keeping quiet as if they are not in this country. And for me, that is not good at all. That is not good at all. A prophet that did not speak to the situation in Nigeria today, for me, is a fake prophet. Is a general overseer who cannot speak to the evil that is going on in Nigeria today. I don't know what is overseeing.
They are enablers.
I don't know. Silence, they say, means consent.
Yes.
If anyone that cannot speak at this time seems to directly or indirectly be encouraging what is going on.
Thank you very much. All right, welcome, Prince. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Like I was saying before now, a time like this, where, in fact, everybody is like living in fear, is now where the people of God have to come round table. If truly, they say there's a true worshiper, those who truly know the value of their call in Christ. You live in a nation where things are not supposed to go the way as it's going. As a man of God, this is the time we should put our bracelet to make sure that this kind of a thing must not happen where God lives. We, children of God, are representative of God. We are not supposed to be afraid of anything. Believe this. God said something. If I be for you, who can be against you? God said something. In him we live, we move, and have our being. Our life as children of God is hid in him. We have no cause to be afraid of anybody or anything happening within us. We are the one to represent God's image here on earth. He said, do not conform to the system. Rather, be transformed the system. So what am I trying to say in essence here is this. Very simple. We have men that are called men of God. I'm very, very clear to say this here, that we have no men of God here in this country. We are here deliberating on how we can make our heaven on earth by looking for money, what to eat, what to be greedy, to fly jet, do all these mischievous things, as deceiving people as children of God. There is not. This is a state, I believe, that a kind of a mourning should be declared, a day of mourning in this country. Say, let if you know you are a child of God, come out together, pray and mourn. There's a cry to mourn and call on God. So this is unbearable. if you truly know you are a child of God, this is what I expect those who are children of God to do at this moment. This is no longer time to deliberate and be talking, go to the pulpit and be preaching of this, of that. This is a time of facing reality. We are faced with reality now. So this is a time children of God should come out and speak. Anyone that died, look at the disciples of Christ. How did they check out of this world? How did they die? We should not be afraid of death. It's spoken in Matthew. Say, don't be afraid of those who can kill the body but cannot touch the soul. That is whom you are. Jesus Christ, our Father, was put to death. On the third day, he resurrected. And he said those who died in Christ will resurrect first. What are we talking about? The life with what it is meaningless. So we should iron it as it is and work accordingly to how it is if you are a child of God. Your purpose of here is to do the will of God, not the will of man. I rest my case and I stop this studies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prince.
Yes,
Thank you for calling.
let me quickly make a
Before you do that, let me just talk to the viewers. Viewers, please kindly know that we have extended our time, so you can feel free to call in using the number on your screen to send us your views over the thoughts of the news making round this morning. All right, over to you.
Yeah,
sir.
I just want to say that make a short comment on the last caller's observation about men of God in Nigeria. It's unfortunate that it's using what I call sweepy generalization. Let me give an example. I dub my cap for Prophet El Buba. I've never met him. He's in the north and he's speaking. He's crying out. I dub my cap for Reverend Nezida Komo, or how they pronounce his name, that have been crying out, who raised the flag about this genocide. These are still men of God in the country. I thank God for some of our fathers in the Lord in our church, in Anglican Communion. The primate has been speaking out, and I don't want to talk like people like us who have been speaking almost on a daily basis, crying out here, appealing to government, highlighting the maladies going on in Nigeria. So there are still a few men of God. Just that the numbers that are out there not concerned about what is happening, just living flamboyant life, seems to be more, far more than the ones that are genuinely speaking. This, for me, this is not the time for seed of faith. This is not the time, some just speak and they are not talking about what is going on. But I give an example. On Wednesday, in my new parish in St. Peter's, I paid some people, few church members that were around. They were surprised about my message, which was based on Revelation chapter 6. Go and read that. I'm looking at a timetable, end-time timetable, the issue of persecution and what are yet to happen and all that. So there are still some men of God trying to do the right thing. So we should not just condemn every person wholesale. But let's continue to pray, and for those who are not yet speaking, I think it's a high time we'll all wake up and address the issue at hand.
Thank you very much. All right, I'll move to you, Barrister Patrice. Alongside with the decision of the federal government to train 50 persons, or senators rather, to go and learn how to negotiate with the U.S. And we also know that the U.S. are already angry and planning to come to Nigeria. Do you think that they will take us serious with this decision?
I think your question has supplied the answer.
Okay. Yes. So it's like we are just exposing our weaknesses. To train, go and be training senator how to negotiate with the U.S. If they were talking about training people how to confront Boko Haram and ISIS, it would be more, it makes more sense. It make more sense.
All right, let's take the story about FCT administration under which is set November 2026 to begin enforcement of ground rent, land use fees in Abuja. Looking at the economic situation of our country, do you think this is the right time to take such decision?
That's just the mantra of this administration. Tax them again, and tax them more.
Expand the tax net again.
Through by any means, by any way, by any name, just tax them, and tax them. They will continue to tax the people until there are no people to tax.
All right, let's have your last word.
No, it's really insensitivity on the part of government. We are not saying that taxation is not part of the instrument that government use in governance, in raising fund and all that.
But we are not a producing country. We don't need all those things.
But we should do this thing with human face. Look at the magnitude of suffering that people have been thrown into since this government took over power by the withdrawal of fuel subsidy. People have not recovered. Businesses are closing down. People are suffering. People can barely live the way they have been living before, and they're trying to come to terms with this reality. Then you wake up another one. You wake up another tax. Then I begin to wonder, what do you make of double taxation, duplication of tax, and all that is going on? People whose income have been taxed, they are paying VAT. Anytime they buy biscuit or buy chin-chin, they are paying tax. If you buy fuel, you are paying another tax. Then they now also want to be taxing if you have radio in your car. Too much of everything is bad now.
Of course, it's very bad. We are trying to tell the government now to please choose Nigeria against your personal interest. On that note, I want to say my profound thanks to our special guests here with me for sharing their weight of knowledge on today's program, and all our callers. Thank you so much, our amazing viewers, for staying with us. Without you, I can't do this alone. Let's remember that success is never the product of one person's brilliance alone. It is the result of shared commitment, shared sacrifice, and shared responsibility. When we work together, we multiply our strength. When we move in unity, we amplify our impact. No dream is too big, and no challenges is too heavy when hands are joined together. Minds are aligned and hearts are invested in the same purpose. So today, I invite us to embrace a higher standard of togetherness. Let us reject the mindset of every man for himself and replace it with we rise together. Let us build systems that support, not sabotage, encourage, not compete, and elevate, not divide. Because the future we desire will not come from wishful thinking. It will come from what we build together. We have come to the end of today's now-streaming program on ACNNTV. Till we come your way again with another beautiful story. Same station and at the same time next week. Kindly stay safe. I remain Princess Clement. Bye for now.